Aha Punanaleo's deep-sea voyaging canoe, the Hoku Alakai, arrived in Lahaina in celebration of the 2008 International Festival of Canoes.
That sailing canoe Hoku Alakai is a tool for perpetuating the Hawaiian language. It's just we call it Honua Kai. It's our ocean environment, and we teach concepts about math and science from a Hawaiian paradigm, and we teach our crew members or people who are involved in our program just how to live together as a wholesome community.
The vessel is actually owned by the nonprofit group Aha Punanaleo Incorporated, a leading entity for indigenous language revitalization. The vessel not only serves as a tool for learning Hawaiian culture, but preserving and perpetuating the Hawaiian culture through language.
Hawaiian language, that's our mission, the preservation of the Hawaiian language, and it's a olelo, it's a language, but when you begin to speak it, you become the voice of your people, and it's only through the medium of your language that you can express yourself from a Hawaiian perspective, and that's why it's real important. It's the words are verbalizations about the way, how we feel about our community, how we see our environment, how we see the relationships between people and community and households, and it is an expression from a Hawaiian perspective.
The Hoku Alakai was actually named after the famous voyaging canoe Hokulea, which is noted for its travels throughout Polynesia.
Hoku Alakai means guiding star, and it just means to guide or to move people forward as a community, to kai, or to march with your community. Hoku Alakai has basically been sailing around the state. We've sailed to Mokumanamana and Nihoa, which is Necker Island, and Nihoa, which is about 360 miles west of Kauai. We've done sails to Kauai or Niihau 3 times already, so we've pretty much circumnavigated islands, and we're ready for greater challenges. But we're staging very strategic about the kind of challenges we take on, and we want to build our skill level up so that we can do greater, more challenging things in time.
The Hoku Alakai is the newest in a fleet of voyaging canoes that are symbolic of the growing interest among Native Hawaiian communities in the voyaging arts.
The audience we serve is from preschool through adulthood, and so we service all ages. And with our preschool children, they're not actually sailing. We just getting them trained to be safe in the water, so they spend their preschool years up until the 6th grade just learning basic swimming skills, and that creates a really solid foundation for them exploring the ocean safely. And then when they get into the intermediate school, we start to introduce them to canoes, and all forms of it, paddling canoes, and then eventually when they get into high school, they learn to sail on a smaller canoe, like a 30-foot double-hull sailing canoe. That's just a miniature of our much larger 57-foot canoe. And eventually, when they're in high school, we introduce them to the larger voyaging canoe. And then when they become adults and college students and adults of all ages, they come on a much larger platform, and they work with adults. So it's just integrated learning of multi-ages.
The canoe itself was crafted to carry approximately 12 people on board and has modern technology, cooking facilities, and sleeping quarters on board as well.
That's where we put our water, food. Then the crew, they sleep on the top of that deck, like how this bunk look like. That's where they sleep. Then also that we get all our stove, then our propane tank, as well as how we cook our meal, and we get our radio box.
I heard that you guys are pretty high tech over here. What's inside that?
That we get all the electric for the canoe, for the light and all that. Then we can use a computer and all that they can use on Hoku Alakai.
And now on the back portion of the vessel, I see that there's a steering mechanism, but there's also a solar panel. Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's what we charge our battery for the light and radio for the canoe. Then we get one engine in the back. We just use for push the canoe for going out the harbor and coming in the harbor.
Now the master navigator of this canoe, Chad Kalepa Babayan, conducts tours aboard the vessel in both Hawaiian and English. It's part of a partnership with Aha Punanaleo, a nonprofit organization whose mission it is to revitalize and preserve the Hawaiian language. The tours will be conducted through May 30th. For MauitodayTV, I'm Wendy Osher.
MauitodayTV.